get me back home. First, it was a lifetime ban. And I don't know. I guess it's got new management. All right,
Well, it looks like Baby Cookie and Baby Petey have unceremoniously arrived at the junkyard. Hi, everybody. I'm Aaron Yanda, and welcome to a brand new season of Junkyard Joust. Here are the 5 teams competing in the first qualifier. Let's take a closer look. Nightmare Fuel have had a rough history at the Joust, including a bonus action that went wrong, but they are back to give it another shot. Magic Kingdom have been to the finals, but lately it's been only tragic for them. They're hoping that Invitational gave them a solid team. The Sunrunners are back. They've been around for a long time, making it to the finals in the first 3 seasons of Joust. They are veterans. Truculent placed 7th in the finals last season, and they are back with relatively few change-ups since their team did so well. And here's a brand new team called the Visionaries. Keep an eye on this team. Cookie and Petey have recovered from the wild bus trip. They're hanging out over by the wrecker. And over here we've got, I think this is a Junkyard Joust fan who really wanted to get close up and check out the show. Got some classic cars lined up by the junkyard there, and of course Jeff Goldblum.
I'll just hang out here.
Here we go on what's going to be a very competitive season. Evil Weevil in place, sponsored by Track Buffer LLC. Round 1. The Visionaries got the roll. Fat Fender starting us off, sponsored by Mr. Mark. A high-speed slam, and Fat Fender pushes the track buffer and itself off the track. A safe escape. You love to see that. However, the next car coming down is going to face that safety bar with no buffer. It's going to be the 51 Mercury for Nightmare Fuel, sponsored by Sicken. 51 Mercury speeds into the safety bar, bounces way back, but stays nice and level. A little shaken up at first, but now locked in. The service bed truck for Truculent, sponsored by StarCorps Industries. A 95-gram slam into the Mercury. Barb, who's one of the folks that hangs out at the junkyard, gets tossed out. Doug going down first for Magic Kingdom, gonna set up that ramp, sponsored by King Jester. Oh, Doug does not set up the ramp, completely fails, goes over sideways. That is a terrible omen for Magic Kingdom. Ouch. The Sunrunners have a Sakura Sprinter, 134 grams with a secret weapon, sponsored by Sand Dragon Workshop. The Sprinter sends Doug careening off the track, spinning around. Doug is still upside down, and the secret weapon of Sunrunners has been deployed. That should provide a little ramping action. Visionary sending down Mike Wazowski, sponsored by the Mad Brit King. Wazowski heaves into the air, goes all the way over the Sprinter down to the crate, and makes a great recovery. Some cars just excel going off ramps, and Wazowski's one of them. West Coast Flyer, brand new vehicle from Hot Wheels, sponsored by Stumps Tree Farm. West Coast Flyer likes a ramp too, hits the Sprinter and flips around a bunch, but keeps it level the whole time and takes out the secret weapon. That thing is tossed off the track. It will not come back next round if the Sprinter lives. Showing some sweet agility there. Sierra Grand 15 Custom for Truculent, sponsored by the Aardvark of Freedom. The Fanta truck hits the back of the Sprinter, goes up, almost goes inside, but maybe a little too boxy to fit quite right, and survives for the moment. Cruella de Vil, sponsored by Sid from Cybertron. Cruella de Vil we've seen in earlier seasons, pretty good track record. Fanta truck about halfway off the track. 98 Subaru Impreza, sponsored by Farty Marty. Impreza, double takedown right there. Cruella gets thrown over and taken out. Unusual for that car. And the Fanta truck gets skittered a little bit over and goes sideways, does not recover. Evil Eye, sponsored by Sean's Toy Room. Evil Eye tries to undercut the Impreza, but it gets caught up in the Sprinter, and that stabilizes it. Goes curbside. Pretty nice hit, though, by Evil Eye. 57 Buick, sponsored by Jason's Bits Boys. Full speed into Evil Eye. The Buick throws it off the track. It goes upside down. That could be a loss for the Visionaries. The Impreza makes a recovery, and that was a nice hit by the Buick. New vehicle for Truculent, the 89 Dodge Ram D350, sponsored by Tim the Bear Neal. PD was riding in the back and jumps out at the last second and does not make it off the track, and that is just not going to be fun on the next hit. Buick gets pushed up into the Sprinter. And this hit is especially going to be rough for PD. The MCI bus is coming down 190 grams. A massive hit just breaks the line completely. PD goes flying, not as hard as I thought he would. Somehow that massive hit did not get a single elimination. The line stabilizes, the Sprinter almost went over. Ozenberg now, sponsored by Hendrika's Heavy Hauling. The Ozenberg plows into the bus, and it is the perfect way for the Ozenberg to set up that ramp as the line tightens. Papa Wheelie doesn't mind a good ramp, sponsored by Price X Private Parts. Papa Wheelie takes the ramp, kind of gets stuck up on it a little bit, but does a great job of landing it. We haven't seen Papa Wheelie since way back when. Next up, 2009 Corvette Stingray Concept, sponsored by Chorgoth the Infinite Horror. The Concept takes the jump, and did it survive? Yes, I think it did. It made a nice flip, landed it, pushed into Doug, and survives. Nice recovery there for the fuel. 71 Ford F-250, sponsored by Emo Dingo. F-250 takes the Ozenberg jump, and wow, shows some agility there for a truck. Ozenberg now has gone curbside, and that jump is displaced. Woody for the Kingdom, sponsored by Mark the Music Lover. Woody knocks the Ozenberg completely over and off the track. The jump is done. Ozenberg slams into the Junkyard Joust fan, knocks them off their moped. Well, they should have expected that, being in that position, a little close to the action. 73 Holden Monaro GTS, sponsored by Sloss Automotive Sachet and Buffet. The Monaro goes straight underneath Woody. Wouldn't call it an undercut as much as an under bump. The heavy bus has started to push the Sprinter off the track, and Doug actually makes an attempt at a recovery. Igor, sponsored by Tribble's Troublemakers. Igor takes Woody down and also takes itself out in the process. Woody, a car that showed a lot of promise for Magic Kingdom, is out. Magic Kingdom down 3 cars right now. They are in bad shape. The Pagani Huayra, sponsored by Judy Collins. Pagani takes a shot at the Monaro, and it does not budge. However, its teammate, the Sprinter, has flipped over sideways, and Sunrunners are gonna lose their big vehicle. And as it turns out, Doug makes a recovery because of that hit. A miracle for the Kingdom. Chevy Silverado now, sponsored by Moo Cow Horse Farm for Truculent. Cookie in the back takes a tiny tumble, flipping around and going kind of wedged in there between a couple cars. Not a bad tumble at all. No eliminations on that hit. Zero, sponsored by Reaper EOD. Zero smacks the Silverado. Cookie goes bouncing around a little bit. Silverado is curbside. Monteracer is a car that's been on the Sunrunners in the past, and it's back. Monteracer slaps Zero up in the air off the track, flips it over upside down, a nice takedown. And again, Magic Kingdom are back to 3 out. That was the last car of round 1. All 3 of the newbies for Magic Kingdom have been eliminated. That is exactly what they didn't want to happen. That's why they had an invitational. And Magic Kingdom will lose the most cars of that round. Let's take a look at the aftermath. Magic Kingdom falls to 2. The Visionaries lost 2, down to 3. Sunrunners and Truculent looking good with only 1 loss. And look at that, Nightmare Fuel, not a single car lost. The Joust fan's gotten back on her moped, though she's sitting down a little lower trying to protect herself.
I'm doing okay.
She does have a helmet on at least. Round 2, here we go. 51 Mercury will start us off for Nightmare Fuel, who had a fantastic round. Let's hope they don't succumb to the leader's curse. Ozenberg booms into position and sets up that ramp for the Sunrunners. Service bed hits that ramp and actually displaces it. Ozenberg's a little light to have a ramp, plus it's not a perfectly smooth surface. Great recovery by the service bed truck, and looks like Barb kind of got stuck and pinned underneath the truck. Well, that's the dangers of riding down on these things. Fat Fender gives a good shot to the Ozenberg and flips over, but makes the recovery happen. Ozenberg also survives. Doug slams into position and gets its own ramp set up. Ozenberg off to safety. West Coast Flyer just waiting for that ramp. It loves it. Look at it fly up in the air, spin around several times, and land it flawlessly, hitting a 6 on the way there. This thing is gonna be great if it makes it to Creature from the Black Lagoon. Beautiful pirouette and a great landing. Monoracer also doesn't mind that jump and does a great job flipping over, gets almost hung up on Evil Weevil, but bounces away to safety. Oops, the F-250 did not show any agility this time, hitting that ramp and just flomping over upside down. That'll be a loss for Truculent. Ooh, a bad landing for Mike Wazowski, and Mike gets stuck sideways, can't quite make that recovery happen, gets caught up on the Monoracer. That could be a loss for the Visionaries. And now Magic Kingdom has a bit of a predicament. The MCI bus is going down and gonna hit Doug. Oh, wow. Well, I guess that is about the best result you could have expected. MCI bus poised on top of Doug. That is not a stable position to be in. And Nightmare Fuel pounces the Buick, tossing the bus over and out. Magic Kingdom should have thought of this. Sending the bus down earlier, though, probably wouldn't have worked out too great anyway. They are in trouble again. The Impreza scoots the Buick all the way over to the crates, but it stays nice and level and makes the survive. Nightmare Fuel still with no eliminations. The Dodge Ram boots the Impreza off the track, goes off of Doug, and flips over to a fantastic recovery. And that car is looking like a good one for the Sunrunners. Dodge goes curbside. Petey again left on the track, and Papa Wheelie is fairly kind to Petey, just kind of throwing him off the track. And now that Dodge Ram could be in trouble, a little close to elimination, but not out. Stingray concept car mixes things up, tosses Papa Wheelie off. Papa keeps it steady, and the Dodge Ram kind of goes up farther. Still in a good position though. And the Sunrunners strike with the Holden Monaro, taking down the Stingray concept car, and finally Nightmare Fuel have shown a crack. Chevy Silverado tosses that Monaro off the track, but it keeps it going, no problems, backing down to a successful survive. Cookie floats over to the West Coast Flyer. The Pagani pushes into the Silverado, going up on the back of Doug and going a little bit sideways-ish right there. That is very close to elimination. 4 eliminations in that round, no teams eliminated yet. We are gonna have to take a measurement on the Silverado, and looks like Truculent gets lucky. That thing is right at 45 degrees. Close call. There are your 4 eliminations. Taking a look at the aftermath. Sunrunners come out of that round with nary a scratch, no eliminations for them. Truculent falls 1 to 3. Magic Kingdom down to just Doug. They've been in this position before. Visionaries lose 1 down to 2, and Nightmare Fuel down to 4. They will start us out in round 3. Here we go. Mercury in position. Ozenberg sets up the ramp for the Sunrunners, trying to get a couple of launches off that thing before it gets displaced. Incredibly similar result this time, except Barb doesn't get pinned underneath the service bed. It makes a great recovery though, and Ozenberg is curbside. Eerily similar to last round, Fat Fender makes the recovery, and so does the Ozenberg with a little bit more flipping, but a nice comeback right at the end to keep it going. Doug bounces back off the solid Mercury and spins, pivots, falls off the track, goes upside down. This happened once before, but is it too late now? Is there gonna be enough cars to give Doug a fighting chance here, or did Magic Kingdom just get thrown out of this match? The Buick slams into the Mercury and bounces back a little ways. It does manage to keep it level, but does not escape the track. The Impreza helps it hop to safety, goes curbside itself. The Dodge Ram plows into the Impreza and takes it down. Sunrunner's gonna lose one, and did you just see what Petey did? Somehow Petey managed to hang on and stay in the back of the flatbed on that hit. That is unusual. Great job, Petey. Papa Wheelie with a vicious takedown of the Dodge Ram. Petey does get tossed out that time and does a little dance before falling over. And that was a nice takedown from a car that's known more for its agility. Pagani takes a shot at Papa, but it is stable, locked in. But not anymore. The Holden Monaro pops it out of position, and Papa Wheelie goes over sideways. Not enough impetus to keep it going to a recovery. Visionaries are going to lose another one. They are down to 1. Silverado tightens up the line. Cookie goes flying all over the place. And we got 4 cars on the track. West Coast Flyer slams the tailgate of the Silverado and does a great job of staying stable. Monoracer takes a shot at the West Coast Flyer. It's not having it, gets off the track to safety, and that'll be the final car of round 3. 4 eliminations in this round, and we are gonna lose our first team unbelievably. Magic Kingdom will be the first team out. This is bad news for Magic Kingdom. They will be banished from the regular Joust tournament. They will have to go back to what I'm tentatively calling the minor leagues, sort of the preliminaries. Before they're allowed to be in Joust again, they will have to prove themselves to be worthy. Round 4 is in full swing. Ozenberg is set up. This time the service bed truck does not take out the ramp. Barb goes flying up to the crates, and service bed does make a nice recovery. That thing happens to be good at taking ramps. Fat Fender takes the ramp, and it does not go well. And if it stays like that, this qualifier might just be over. Hits a height of 6 before it lands on its roof and cannot get back up again. Visionaries are going to need a miracle to get back in this match. A kill shot by the Buick takes down the Ozenberg. Ozenberg struggles to get back up and cannot make it. It will be out as well. The Holden Monaro tries to get some revenge on the Buick, but can't pull it off and goes curbside pretty hardcore. Silverado pops the Monaro off, but it does a great flip to a recovery. That car is showing some great agility. Sunrunner is looking pretty solid in this match. And Nightmare Fuel has definitely got a winner with the West Coast Flyer. Monoracer takes a shot at it, tries to knock it off the track, gets it sideways, but not out. Final car of the round, it's the Pagani Huayra. It tries to get Monoracer up and over, but can't quite do it. West Coast Flyer keeps it alive. Wow, look at that recovery, a spinning recovery, and flips it over. Looks like there is 2 eliminations. Visionaries were not able to make any sort of recovery, and they are out of the match, and they will also have to go to the minor leagues if they want to return to the Joust. Nightmare Fuel put in a solid performance here today, and they will get the bonus action, legitimately this time, not accidentally awarded to them. And there are the first 3 teams that are moving on to the main event in this season of Junkyard Joust. Nightmare Fuel only lost 1 in that entire match. Great start for them. And if Magic Kingdom comes back, they are going to have to shake things up a lot. The second qualifier of the season is up next Sunday with these 5 teams, couple of new teams coming up, and some reworked returning teams. It's going to be a fun one. I hope to see you next Sunday. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time on the Joust.